I turned 45 this year, and I'm only now getting serious about investing in SCHD. A lot of people would say I'm behind, that I should have started in my 20s or 30s and missed my opportunity. And honestly, they're right about the timing, but they're wrong about it being too late. I'm going to walk through my exact 20-year plan, taking me from age 45 to 65 using SCHD, and why this stage of life might actually be an ideal time to commit fully. If you're in your 40s, 50s, or even early 60s and feel like dividend investing passed you by, stay with me. The numbers may surprise you. This approach still works even when you start later. Here's what we're going through today. First, I'll be upfront about the downsides of starting SCHD at 45 instead of 25, because there are real trade-offs you need to recognize. Then I'll explain the major advantages investors in their 40s and 50s actually have over younger investors. Finally, I'll lay out my exact 20-year roadmap with real numbers, showing what can realistically happen from age 45 to 65 using SCHD, and why turning 65 is actually the start of the best phase, not the end. By the end, you'll have a clear idea whether you're behind, on pace, or ahead for your age, and exactly what steps to take next. Quick disclaimer. This content is for educational purposes only and not financial advice. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. The projections and strategies discussed are based on SCHD's historical performance and my personal situation, but everyone's circumstances are different. Always speak with qualified financial, tax, and legal professionals before making investment or retirement decisions. Let me be straightforward. Beginning SCHD at 45 instead of 25 cost me about 20 years of compounding. If I had invested $10,000 at 25 and reinvested the dividends, it might have grown to roughly $67,000 by age 45. That's around $57,000 in growth I won't get back. I missed the longest compounding runway, the period where time does most of the work. Similar to how Warren Buffett's wealth accelerated after 50 because of the decades he invested beforehand. At 45, I also faced different realities, less recovery time after market downturns and more obligations, mortgage payments, children, parents, insurance. I can't take the same level of risk as someone in their 20s. Starting at 45 isn't perfect, but I'm not competing against my 25-year-old self. I'm competing against the version of me who never begins. The ideal moment was 2 decades ago. The next best moment is right now. And I still have 20 years ahead to make it matter. Here's what many people miss. Beginning SCHD at 45 actually comes with advantages younger investors don't have. First, higher income allows larger contributions. At 25, I was earning about $35,000 a year and living paycheck to paycheck. At 45, my income is around $85,000. Even with greater expenses, I can invest $1,500 to $2,000 every month into SCHD. That's the benefit of peak earning years. Investing $1,500 monthly from 45 to 65 equals $360,000 contributed. A 25-year-old investing $300 monthly for 20 years contributes only $72,000. That's 5 times more capital going to work. Second, emotional maturity. At 25, I might have panic sold during the 2008 crash or the 2020 COVID decline. Now I've experienced downturns and understand they create buying opportunities. That mindset can matter more than extra time in the market. Third, expenses are approaching a decline. My mortgage will be paid off in 5 years. My kids graduate college in 8. By age 55, my monthly expenses drop close to 40%, freeing up additional money to invest. Fourth, clarity of goals. A 25-year-old estimates retirement needs. I already understand my lifestyle, healthcare expectations, and where I plan to live, so I can calculate a far more accurate target. Fifth, catch-up contributions. At 50, Roth IRA limits rise to $8,000 instead of $7,000, along with higher 401k contribution allowances. And finally, tax efficiency. During peak earning years, qualified dividends are taxed lower than regular income. After retirement, those dividends could be taxed very little or not at all. Starting at 45 isn't a disadvantage. In many ways, it's a strategic edge. Let me walk through my actual plan using real numbers. I'm beginning at age 45 with $25,000 invested in SCHD. That comes from savings, a bonus, and a small inheritance. Your starting amount may be different. That's okay. The strategy is what matters. I'm committing to investing $1,500 every month for 20 years. Some months will be higher or lower, but the objective is to average $1,500 consistently. First, I fully fund my Roth IRA with $7,000 per year, or about $583 monthly. The remaining $917 goes into a taxable brokerage account. Once I reach 50, I raise the Roth contribution to $8,000 annually using catch-up limits. Assuming a 10% long-term average return with dividends reinvested, age 46, roughly a $47,000 portfolio, producing about $1,700 yearly dividends. Age 50, about $130,000 and around $4,700 in dividends. The mortgage is paid off, freeing $2,000 monthly, so I increase investing to $3,000 per month. Age 55, near $350,000 and about $12,700 in dividends, around $1,058 monthly. Kids finish college, and contributions remain $3,000 monthly. Age 60, approximately $680,000, generating $24,600 yearly, $2,050 monthly, covering about 40% of expenses. Age 65, around $1,150,000, producing $41,700 annually, $3,475 monthly. After roughly 15% tax, about $2,954 per month. At 65, I stop adding new money, but I don't stop investing. If dividends continue to be reinvested until 70, the portfolio could grow to about $1.85 million, generating roughly $67,000 per year, around $4,746 monthly after tax. That's the impact of starting at 45. I missed the early compounding years, but with income, consistency, and a clear plan, 20 focused years can still create substantial wealth. If you want access to my full age-based SCHD calculator, where you enter your age, starting balance, and monthly investment to see a personalized retirement projection, I make that available to channel members. Members also get strategy guides tailored for people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, early access to videos, and a community of others on the same path supporting each other along the way. You can join using the button or the link in the description. It costs less than one SCHD share per month, and it could make the difference between retiring comfortably or working well into your 70s. The community has been amazing for accountability and motivation, and I'd be glad to have you there. Let's break this down based on where you are right now. Age 40 to 45. This is a strong opportunity window. You still have 20 to 25 years of compounding, along with your highest earning years. Begin with whatever you can, even $500 monthly. Focus on consistency. Max your Roth IRA first, then invest extra funds in a taxable account. Age 46 to 50. You've got roughly 15 to 20 years. Time to increase effort. Target around $2,000 per month if possible. Take advantage of catch-up contributions once you turn 50. Even extending work by a couple of years can greatly improve the final outcome. Age 51 to 55, about 10 to 15 years remain. Treat this as the acceleration phase. Fully fund your Roth IRA, 401k, and brokerage accounts. Cut expenses aggressively. Consider retiring at 67 or 68 instead of 65 to allow more compounding. Age 56 to 60, start prioritizing balance. SCHD can stay the core holding, but introduce stability. For example, roughly 70% SCHD and 30% bonds or cash. Over 60, shift toward income. Begin using dividends rather than reinvesting them. You can't change the years behind you, but you control the next 20. Starting today still matters. Where are you in your journey? What's your age and current SCHD position? Leave a comment and I'll let you know whether you're on track and what adjustments could help. I reply to everyone. Subscribe for more age-specific SCHD strategies, and I'll see you in the next one.